SEAL accused of the worst sin of all, not loving diversity enough. A breaking report this week by CNN accused Zinke of seeking to hire the best people for jobs at the Interior Department without regard to their appearance. That was the chyron. Zinke angers by hiring the best. Very offensive. The report was denied, of course, by Zinke, but the left still reacted with horror. Kristen Clarke is president and executive director of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under Law, and she joins us now. Kristen, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So I know I can't speak for anyone else, but when I saw that CNN report that Ryan Zinke was daring to hire the best people, I thought, what is this country coming to? You know, hiring people on the basis of relevant criteria like experience or skill or commitment. I mean, that's just wrong, and I think you would agree with that.
No, we want people who are qualified and experienced, especially at the helm of our nation's most important federal agencies. But we also need to make sure that those agencies reflect the growing diversity of our country. And I'm not just talking about racial diversity, I'm talking about gender diversity and ethnic diversity. And at every turn with this administration, we've seen efforts to turn the clock back. We know that diversity is not a priority for this administration, whether we're talking about cabinet-level appointments or judicial appointments. This administration is one that has not placed a premium on diversity.
What do you think of the NFL?
Well,
do you like the NFL?
That's a totally different context.
Oh, it is. But do the same standards apply there? I mean, why do they get a pass from the? No, this is a real question. Why do they get a pass on the diversity thing in the NFL? Is there a reason?
Well, when we look at the coaching ranks, there's a lot of work to do.
No, I'm talking about the players. No, slow down.
I'm talking about underrepresented.
Great, and I'm on your side. But the players, it's all male. It's disproportionately African American. Does that bother you?
The NFL is a sport, so is a male sport, so I'm not surprised that it's all male.
But does it bother you? I mean, why do they get a pass from the normal? Because their point is, like, we hire the best. And actually, I think the NFL really doesn't care what color you are. I mean, they just want the best players. And is that offensive? When you watch it, are you thinking, I can't watch this? They're not following the diversity rules.
What really bothers me is my taxpayer dollars, your taxpayer dollars, going to support federal agencies that don't reflect the diversity of our country, Tucker.
What about when you fly on an airplane? I mean, do you think that airlines should apply the same diversity rules you're calling for here? That they shouldn't take the people who score the highest on the pilot tests, but that they should hire also on appearance, the way people look?
Every workplace, whether you're talking about
pilots
airlines
heart surgeons
or
too?
Federal agencies, should hire the best, but should place a premium on diversity. And
but
Secretary
which is more important, the way that you look or what you do, what you're capable of doing? So, like when you're flying a plane, how important is it what you look like, your appearance?
Incredibly important, and it's also important that we have. It's also important that we place a premium on diversity, and the fact that we have people in this
diversity means
administration.
Appearance. It means what you look like.
No,
you're talking about the shallowest possible criterion. It's your literally your shade. That's what you're saying.
Well,
why is that more important than talent?
You know what matters, Tucker? What matters is that your white daughters and that my black son can turn on that TV and see an administration that reflects the diversity of our country. Gender diversity, racial diversity, ethnic diversity. And we're not
what matters
seeing
to
that
me
with
is
this
that the government is run by competent people. And if they're all Pacific Islanders, I don't care where they're from. I don't care what they look like, because I don't think that what you look like is the most important thing, because I'm not shallow.
President Trump.
But you're arguing that it is, and I'm wondering why.
President Trump's appointees have been virtually all white and all male. And we haven't seen anything this remarkable since the Reagan years. And our country
I'm just wondering,
I
mean, you're just not getting anywhere with me, because if you can argue that one of them is doing a bad job, I'll agree with you. And I think some of them are not that impressive. I'll be completely blunt with you. But it has nothing to do with what they look like. Because, again, I'm not a shallow person. I don't judge people on their appearance, just as I don't judge books on their covers. I try to get a little deeper than that. And I'm wondering why, as a society, we've decided the shallowest possible measure is the most important. Do you ever stop and ask yourself that?
Diversity is one among a number of factors that this administration should be taking into account when it appoints cabinet-level positions all the way down. We want a federal government that reflects the diversity of our country.
But I wonder, by diversity, again, I just want to be totally clear. If you mean like diversity of skills, I'm totally with you. But when you were little, did you ever think you'd be arguing to judge people primarily on how they look?
You know, I'm talking about gender diversity. I'm talking about racial diversity, Tucker.
Okay, but those are outward
of President
signs.
Trump's judicial nominees have been white male.
But
have
are they
been
bad?
white male. Many of them are horrible.
You're speaking a foreign language to me.
Nominee Peterson, who had to pull out because he knows nothing about how federal courts operate.
That's a problem. Look, I'm with you there. You should ever hire incompetent people. I don't care what they look like. No incompetent people. I'm with you. Kristen, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Secretary Zinke is still employed for the time being, but another member of the administration was not so fortunate. A former Trump speechwriter says his life was destroyed by the media without a shred